Talking a little Phillies baseball now, and the Phillies had a big win last night. But there's been a lot of problems with the pitching, and I got to talk to a pitcher that knows what he's talking about. So let's go to the sports hotline and welcome into the locker room former Philly pitcher, and he's an analyst on Comcast Sportsnet, NBC Sports. Greene, Tommy Greene, what's up?
What's up, guys? Good to be on with you.
Happy Memorial Weekend, Tommy Greene.
Good. Hey, you too, pal.
All right, so Tommy, man, talk to me. What's the Phillies bullpen seems to me to be the biggest problem. I know the starters aren't going deep. But what's your, as an analyst, the way you look at it, and the fact that you were a pitcher in the bigs, what's the biggest problem with this team right now? The bullpen or the starting pitching?
Well, I mean, right now it's a combination of both, because the starters, say to speak, are not going. Not all of them, but not going a little bit deeper in the game, which causes you to use that bullpen. That's the trend of baseball. I mean, they're quick to do that. They're carrying 8 relievers, but still, if you're using them every day like that, they're just going to bang your guys up a little bit. But so, I mean, you need that day off or two, the few of the starters back to back to maybe go deep in the game, and that spells some guys and keeps them fresh. But they are missing the pieces from spring training, I think, Tommy Hunter and Robertson and the guys they were counting on, say to speak, from last year in the new acquisition with Robertson and Arano. Those guys were big keys, to that bullpen. And surprisingly, up until the past week or so, I mean, the bullpen has actually, had come in and done a decent job, and now it's kind of caught up with them with the way, I guess it's the way that they're used a little bit, and they're, it's hard to see, but I think they're going to need some help down there in the bullpen at some point if the starters are not going deep in ball games.
So Tommy, when you just said it's the way they're used, so Gabe Kapler maybe is not using his bullpen in the right manner, in the right way, because it's frustrating, Tommy. That's why I have you on, because I'm frustrated.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Yeah, I can get it. I mean, but it's like you said the other night with Nola. I was covering the game on NBC, and after the game, the question was in the 6th inning, and I wanted to see Nola get out of that inning, and let whoever was coming in start off with a fresh inning, at the start, that way. And that might save a guy, because you saw Morgan come in and pitch a third. You saw Sir Anthony come in and, pitch a third of an inning. And then you got Neshek comes in and pitches an inning and gives it up, So you lost 3 guys in an inning and 2/3, I mean, and that wears on you. If he lets him go one more inning, you might not lose one of those guys. Or Morgan might not be the guy that comes in, or whatever happens, after that. Maybe Sir Anthony don't even come in. Maybe Neshek comes in. But whatever happens. But that's the arms. But he made a decision, after the game. He said it was on his gut. That's what he felt like he needed to do, and he did. And I don't fault that. It's just I would have liked to seen, me personally, Nola go through that inning, because that's ultimately going to help everybody in the end. Yeah. So
we're talking with Tommy Greene, former Phillies pitcher. Tommy, I mean, you guys, we're hearing what's going on with Neshek. Now he got sent back, right? They think that he's got a shoulder problem, I guess, or something.
This is the first news. You telling me that is the first news?
Yeah, he was sent back. He was sent back to Philadelphia.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah,
I was out and about last night. So I'm down at the shore. Matter of fact, looking at the beach on
nice.
the deck.
Where are you? What shore destination?
I'm up in North Wildwood right now.
All right. Very good, Tommy.
Everybody's my place, yeah.
So, Tommy, I don't know, like when you played, I just can't imagine your teammates, that 93 squad would if a pitcher started warming up in a bullpen, and then because he threw too many balls in a bullpen, he can't pitch the next day. Now, at the time, we didn't know maybe there was a problem, but I know that wouldn't sit too well with the guys that you played with.
Well, I don't know Neshek personally, but over the past couple of years, I guess that he's been here. He's been sort of the guy. I guess with his delivery and the way he throws and stuff. It's taxing on him, but he's very effective, And I just think as a pitcher, and you know, the way I come up in the teams I played on, it was a different time, you know, than it is now. You know, we had you know, 5-man bullpen, 6 at the max. I mean, most time we had 5. If I'm not correct.
Right.
I mean, we had 10-man staff. We had a 10-man staff, I think. You know, as far as 5 starters, 5 relievers, and it was, you know, some days you had to eat it and figure it out, and go that extra inning to give a guy a blow, you know, that needed a night off. And I mean, and sometimes that's how you find out what you have inside too.
That's right.
Can you survive and make pitches when you're not at your best? No, you know, I mean, people. I mean, I don't know about it today, how a lot of guys do, but they tend, you know, they don't feel, 100% or
right.
close to it. They don't want to go out there.
Hey man, you got to go to work sometimes when you're not feeling well, right? You got a cold, you're sick, you got to struggle through it. Same if you're tired, your arm's tired.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
That's the impression I get. I mean, it's not saying that's the fact. I mean, pitching, most of us out there, I mean, you probably feel your best 7 or 8 times out there.
Right.
You know, when you go out there, I know as a starter you feel it 7 or 8 times. You know, they say you feel your best, and the rest of it, you're going out there and you're pitching. You know, and you're surviving. And a lot of times with your best stuff, you tend to try to overdo anyway, and you end up leaving balls up in the zone, and you back up bases half the time. You know. So
Tommy, looks like maybe Hector Neris might be turning a corner. I mean, he had nasty stuff last night. That splitter was dropping right off. I mean, it was.
Yeah, there's days you have that with that type of pitch. You know, I mean, that's what you're going to live and die by it a little bit. Some days it's not going to quite have the depth to it, and then there's other days it's just how do you even possibly hit something like that? He had it going on last night. What I saw,
right?
You know, at the end, I saw the end part of the game. So. I mean, it was a good win last night. We need to go in there and show those guys they're just not going to run over us.
Especially against a team like Milwaukee, especially with a team like Milwaukee and Yelich. And I mean, that guy's unbelievable. He's chugging beers one night in the stands, and then he's hitting home runs.
Hey, that boy's living the life, eh? Oh man, that's the way to go.
All right, Tommy. And one last thing before we let you go and enjoy the rest of this Memorial Weekend. It'll be great weather down there at Wildwood. Velasquez, you think the bullpen might be his home?
Well, I tell you never know. I mean, the guy's got such good stuff. I mean, he's got a fastball that plays up. I mean, he throws 94 to 96, if not harder. At times, but it comes down to him. It's all command,
right?
You know, and if he's commanding it. You know, he can be dirty, and that makes his other stuff, you know, the slider and the off-speed stuff a little bit better. But that's been his little niche. He's always kind of pitched, you know, sort of even or behind in the count. He throws balls, and he gets a lot of foul balls, you know. And
he probably gets frustrated. I mean, any pitcher, when you throw that many, when people foul off that many pitchers, you're human. It's got to piss you off. I mean, like
you said it. I mean, I was a guy that got a lot of foul balls, but I wasn't stopping at 95, 100 pitches. I was going 115, 20 pitches. I was going that extra inning or more. You know, and it wasn't unless I was getting hit around in the 5th inning, it wasn't coming out. You know, so.
Well, listen, Tommy, I'll tell you what. This team's fun to watch. It's really exciting, and you know what? We just got to sit back. It's only May, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's so early, and they got to find the remedy. Now that you told me that Neshek. You know, sent back. They got some things they got to consider, man. They got to think about doing things. You know, they got that bullpen's going to be. They got to have it because when their starters go, they need that. I mean, they're still. You know, they got. I mean, Arrieta's the base guy there, but they're young. Yeah, you know.
I hear you.
I mean, for the most part, they got to be able to save those. I mean, finish those ball games out for those guys that pitch well. That's how you. I mean, that's how you keep the confidence and stuff going.
All right, Tommy Greene, man. Listen, I really appreciate it. You're a friend of the show. I really enjoy having you on because you know you lived it, you walked the walk, you talked the talk. Thank you so much for calling in and have a great weekend.
You got it too, man.